And welcome to the Geeks, Flicks, and Joysticks podcast. This is the part where the show I usually say, joining me as always. But I finally did it, y'all. I finally fired their asses. I'm doing this bitch solo. I don't need them. They fired. They got on my last goddamn nerve. They done. Dunzo. Out of here. Nah, I'm just playing. I am doing a solo cast, however. I am currently at my grandma's house. And she lives in a trailer park. And I know it sounds backward and redneck as fuck, but it's actually much more fancier than that. They're like high-end trailer parks. And there's a pool for like the community and everything, and they have like this little janky ass library where I currently reside. And unbeknownst to me, across this little rickety ass bridge, there's the pool, and these old folks are having a goddamn barbecue. So if y'all hear swing music in the background, I deeply apologize. But yeah, I'm trying out a solo this week, see how it goes, because I was making a grandma trip and I wanted to let my guys. I feel like I was getting on their nerves, so I needed to give them a break of me. You know I could be too much sometimes. So I love them, and expect at least Felix next week with scary stories. But this week I'm gonna switch it up. Instead of instead of reviewing a movie at the end, I'm gonna review Celeste for y'all. So let's see how that goes. But before we get to that, there's a whole lot of stuff I need to get to, starting with what I've been playing this week. And I've been playing Far Cry New Dawn, which is basically an expansion pack. It came out, when it released, it came out for $40, I think. And I picked it up on one of the sales. But it's basically a glorified expansion pack. It's exactly the same map, which is probably like 3/4 of it shrinked. And it's post-apocalyptic, and it's Far Cry. The only thing that changes is that it has a RPG element where damage numbers pop up and guns have damage points, etc. But it's very fun. It's very Far Cry. I mean, if you like Far Cry, there it is. This is one of the few gaming franchises that my dad's deeply in. And he played it before me because I got it for him and I let him play. Or I think Anton got it for him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I beat the twins," or he's spoiling everything. I'm like, "Bro, I'm gonna play it, dog." So I finally got around to playing it, and what I did not like is it has horrific driving angles because it's all first-person shooter, and because you're inside the car, you can't, or I can't really see where the hell you're supposed to be going. So I was struggling with that. Like I said, it has an RPG element, but all these other Far Cries do have perks that you level up to. But because I have this thing with open worlds where if something shiny is over there, I need to go and get it. So I end up collecting most of the things you're supposed to collect like halfway through the game. So I'm all juiced up by the time you get to the final boss or whatever. But yeah, you fill up the perks pretty easily. The outposts and expeditions begin being it's basically the same as Far Cry 5. That was kind of a bummer. I was hoping that they switched it up a little bit. There's a reveal in the game that gets spoiled in the trailer. So that sucks. The game-changing perks that come towards the end, where there's like a double jump and stuff like that I thought that was kind of cool. Yo, this is hard doing it by myself, man. Yeah, it's pretty short. There's only 22 main story missions and 8 side missions, so 30 missions altogether. It's kind of whack. The two twins aren't the greatest Far Cry villains, I still like the guy from 3. I forget his name. And I feel like they screwed that up on 3 too, when they killed him off more than halfway through, and then they just threw in a rich white guy. I didn't like that. The ending was kind of meh. Yeah, well, whatever. But it's part of a collection, so I have to keep it. There were a couple cameos from the 5th game that I liked. It's a Far Cry game. It's not much I can say or expand upon, but that's what I was getting into this week. Yeah. I don't know how to transition. Yo, this is fucking hard, bro. Alright, and I'm whispering because, like I said, I'm in a library. It's hot as fuck. I'm sweating me tits off, man. Holy shit. Let's see how this turns out, man. Who even knows if this is going to see in the life of day. But to see it in the life of day, you got to go to iVoox, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify. That's where you can find us and listen to this train wreck. You can also follow me at Edward Perez, it's Paurazis on Instagram. I'll be posting up a picture of my studio this week. Y'all can see that. Oh shit, someone just made a noise. I'm super freaked out, yo. Yo, this is sketch as fuck. Anyway. Yeah, and you can follow my homie at Jafel91 on Instagram. And if you really want bubbles, he's as Alex Mack. If you want to see a dude in a wig posing in his undies, you can follow Alex Mack. You can find him. And if you want to see pictures of coffee and boots, you can follow my homie at Jafel91. And if you want to see nothing, you can follow me. I don't post. I'm terrible at that. Yeah, those are our socials, man. So let's get into the news, man. I'm bummed out about this, yo. So I forget if it was last week or 2 weeks ago. We talked about a trailer for a movie called The Hunt. Well, Universal is now canceling that movie because it's really political and I don't want to get into it, but basically it's not the right climate to put that movie out right now because the plot is basically it's a dark satire where liberal characters hunt conservatives for sport. And with the shootings and the mass shootings and all this going around, they thought it was a better idea not to put it out. And it's a bummer because as we expressed, we were interested in this movie. My brain doesn't work like that where I was like, oh my god, it's liberals, hunting conservatives. Not until I saw this report that I was like, that's what it is. But it's a bummer. I get it too, to be insensitive. I hope that the president's words on that, using movies and video games as scapegoat for what's going on isn't the reason why they did that, because you're giving him his voice power, and I really hope that's not what happened here, because I sincerely disagree, obviously. Using video games and movies as scapegoat isn't how you solve this problem, and in this next 45 minutes or an hour of me talking, I'm not going to find a solution either. Shit, Bernie Sanders was on Rogan, and they asked him, how do we solve this? And he was like, I don't know. So if that man don't know, I don't know either. Will this movie ever see the light of day? I hope so. Maybe on some kind of platform. It was hard work putting into this movie, and it's kind of bummed to see that it's just not coming out and never going to see the light of day. I hope it does eventually. I'll see it. I was intrigued. I was curious about it. We talked about it here. But yeah, we won't be able to see it in the theaters. Who knows if it's ever coming out in the theaters. I remember they did the same thing for The Punisher. Was pushed back a few weeks. It sucks that I don't remember what shooting exactly. That's terrible. But I remember there was a shooting, and the Punisher was coming out that week, and it got pushed back a few months. It's not like, god damn it, but I feel like it's a necessary thing to do because it's a very sensitive time, victims and all that. I understand. So yeah, kudos on Universal for having the balls to just be like, yo, all this time, all this all this money we put in, we're just not putting it out right now. So I see both ways. But hopefully we get to see the movie and we can review it for y'all. Moving on, something I am very, very excited about is that THQ Nordic and Volition, who are the developers of Saints Row, say that they're in deep developments for the new Saints Row. Fuck yes, bro. I'm trying not to curse in this fucking library, yo. Hopefully this audio is not that terrible because I'm trying to whisper and speak at the same time. Yo, this is hard, man. Anyway, Saints Row, give me a new one. The last ones were kind of weird with the Gat Out of Hell expansion pack, I want to say. But I love this series, man. I know Bubbles does too. Yeah. They had me at giant purple dildo bat. Fuck yeah. And I like that it steered away from GTA. Like, it started out kind of the same, but more cholo-ish vibes. But then after the second one, they were just like, nah, we're gonna do our own thing and incorporate crazy mascots and dildo bats and flying cars and all this crazy shit. So I'm a Saints Row fan. I've played them all. Very excited. Who knows? Deep in development. Who knows if we're getting a trailer this year? Who knows? I'm down. Gimme. Speaking of trailers, let's get into trailer talk this week. First trailer is Dolemite. Dolemite. Don't know how it's pronounced. But it's the new Eddie Murphy movie where he is portraying Rudy Ray Moore, who is an actor from the mid 70s, who acted and produced and directed his own movie, and he called himself Dolemite. And the name of this movie is Dolemite Is My Name. I have no connection. We don't know shit. I'm gonna speak for the crew here. We don't know what the fuck Dolemite is. It's a movie that came out there is a movie called Dolemite. It came out in the 1975, and this movie is a biopic revolving around the making of that movie. And it's a predominantly African American cast. I saw Eddie Murphy in the trailer. I saw Craig Robinson in the trailer. I saw Lunel in the trailer. I saw Craig Robinson. Did I say Craig Robinson already? I'm forgetting. Wesley Snipes is in it. So I'm very excited for this movie. We're getting a serious Eddie Murphy, but he's also... the tone is weird because you just see Eddie Murphy and automatically you're just like, oh, it's a comedy. Oh, it's going to be funny. And there's funny parts in it, but it's a biopic. And me not knowing anything of Rudy Ray Moore, I'm down. The trailer did its job and made me want to watch it, and I'm down. Gimme. Eddie Murphy did fall off for a few years, and it's kind of sad that what revived his character was a talking donkey. But that happened. I'm trying to think of my favorite Eddie Murphy movie. I don't want to say The Clump, that one, but it's probably that one. I forget its name. Not Dr. Dolittle. Dr. Dolittle was dope too, even though they should have stopped at the second one. How many they made? They made 4 or 5 of them? I don't know. They made a shit ton. My fact checker isn't here. But yeah, I'm stoked. Okay, I wouldn't say stoked. I'm down. Moving on. The next trailer is Little Women. Now, all I know of Little Women is that it's a classic novel from who knows when, all like old as shit, and that's about it. I think the first time I heard about it was in a Friends episode where Monica's reading it and Chandler can't go to sleep and he grabs a book and starts reading it. That's as far as my knowledge of Little Women goes. So they're making a movie, and it's directed by Greta Gerwig, I think that's her name. It's the same chick that directed Lady Bird. And Saoirse Ronan is also in it, who's the chick who plays Lady Bird in Lady Bird. And the kicker for me is Emma Watson. Miha's in it, bro. That's wifey right there, dog. I like me some Hermione. She's in it. Also, we get Laura Dern and Meryl Streep. I know if Bubbles was here, he would say this is fucking boring as shit. But I feel like this is, because I've heard of it, and it's a classic novel, so it has its place in history, and I feel like I have to do my due diligence and go at least watching the movie. Am I super pumped to go see it? Nah. Am I gonna run to the theater? Probably not. I think it comes out in December, and there's way more stuff in December that need my attention. But hopefully I'll catch it. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Moving on. This is so cringy, and I apologize. This is really, really hard, y'all. This is really, really hard. I'm whispering. I don't even know if the audio is correct. There's fucking bands going out, man. I'm all over the place, but I do apologize. Hopefully y'all don't run away forever, and y'all can come back and listen to us next week when there's more than one person. I've never done this, y'all. I'm not a professional, you know. I'm just talking out of my ass. Got my little notes. Shit, get off my ass. Oh shit, what was that? Okay, moving on. The next trailer is Khaleesi, Last Christmas. Khaleesi is Emilia Clarke, and she is playing like a loser who's working as an elf. And the Mijo, played by Henry Golding, who is the Mijo in Crazy Rich Asians, who is gonna save her. It looks very generic. It looks like one of those Christmas movies we just gotta put out and see what happens. We're gonna forget about it by January. It doesn't even seem like it's that funny. I don't know why they do these movies. Like, oh, Christmas is coming, let's make a Christmas themed movie. Hollywood, it's really weird. But Henry Golding plays the heartthrob, and he is also in final talks in becoming Snake Eyes from the G.I. Joe series. He's getting his own spin-off movie. I think I saw the first G.I. Joe. Do not recall the second, and if there's any more than that, I do not remember. I thought this franchise was done. I thought we were done with it. G.I. Joe was before my time, so I didn't really have G.I. Joes growing up. I don't know. I'm very curious to see what they do with it. I don't know who asked for this, but we're getting it. I like Henry Golding. He's cool. I liked him in Crazy Rich Asians. He looks like he's playing the same nice guy in Last Christmas is the name of the movie with Emilia Clarke that I was talking about. If I didn't say that, I apologize. Yeah, he seems like he's playing the same nice, hot-looking dude. I guess I can see him as Snake Eyes. I haven't seen him in anything that's action-related. Oh, there's CGI. That can help, but still. I'm curious. And about Last Christmas, I don't know, man. Again, it's Christmas. There's going to be a lot of other stuff that'll be demanding my attention. Between this and Little Women, I think I'd rather go see Little Women. Yeah. I'm still thinking, yeah. Emilia is still fine, no matter what. She looks great in this movie. I like that she's playing something different. Like, she's playing like a loser, like a train wreck, alcoholic, problems at home, all that kind of stuff. But I'm not sprinting to the theater to watch that. I was sprinting to my TV to see the new Dave Chappelle stand-up on Netflix. Hell yeah. Everybody loves Dave Chappelle. I love this new resurgence of him. He released 2 specials, I want to say last year or 2 years ago already. I don't know, time flies. But this new one's called Sticks and Stones, and it's coming out August 26th on Netflix. I enjoyed the first special. And the second one was iffy. I think the second one he's just riffing. He's just sitting on the stool and just talking. And the first one was way more structurized, I think. I remember there's a fucking Miha in the first one sitting in the front row. She's wearing a red dress. I've only seen this once. I remember what she's wearing. She was fine. Just a rando chick. They knew what they were doing. They pick out the hot people and they put them in the front. I know what you're doing, Netflix. But yeah, he's funny. I like it. I thought I heard it was either Chris Rock or Eddie Murphy also doing a special. I want to say Eddie Murphy. I don't know. Speaking of Netflix, on YouTube there was a 12-hour stream of the Russian Alexei from Stranger Things sipping on a Slurpee, and it was on a loop for 12 hours. This is mad dumb. This is really stupid. But I like stupid stuff like this. It was literally the same 4 seconds looped over and over again with some cute music in the background, where he's sitting on the car in the back of the Corvette and he's putting the straw in his mouth and sucking on a Slurpee. That's it. 12 hours. Why do we need that? I don't know. But people watch. People are crazy. Yes, did I click on it for 4 seconds? Yes, I did. I wanted to see what it was. And that's what it was. Mad stupid, but I like mad stupid shit like that. Speaking of stupid shit, we got this other movie called Zeroville. Now, this is from the crew who brought the Disaster Artist. So Seth Rogen, Craig Robinson, James Franco, Danny McBride. It's weird. It's like a funny satire on cinema. That's what I got from it. Megan Fox is in it. She looks good. I don't know what was the last thing she was in. I think she went away for a while. I like this little return. This movie is a little weird, but I'm here for it. They call it a true story too. I'm intrigued. I keep saying that. I gotta use a different word. I'm interested. I didn't see The Disaster Artist. I feel like I should go back and see that. Everybody was on that movie's nuts. Tommy Wiseau just creeps me out. Like he's an alien. I don't know. People like train wrecks. And this movie, I don't know. Fuck, this is hard. I'm by myself. Yeah, I'll check it out. What's a selling point is the crew, I guess. The Seth Rogen and the James Francos. I like them. Holy shit, people just walked in. Hopefully I can sneak through without them knowing. Oh shit, I'm scared, y'all. Yeah. Zeroville. There'll be a link in the description for all these trailers, and let me know what y'all think. The final trailer is for a video game that I didn't need, if you will, but I'm glad I'm getting it. And it's Need for Speed Heat. I hope y'all can hear me. They're making a mess down there. Yo, hey, I'm recording. Shut up. Okay. Yeah, Need for Speed Heat. And it's the next installment in the Need for Speed franchise. We're not crazy Need for Speed fans. We are more Burnout and Blur fans. In high school, the big one was Need for Speed Underground. I think we had Underground 2. That's the one I played. And I was arguing with Need for Speed Underground fans that Burnout Revenge was way better. Which it is. Like, I don't know shit about cars, just get me there. And Need for Speed had real cars and Burnout has fake cars. So I'm like arguing, I'm like the weirdo. I wasn't the weirdo in that conversation. But yeah, anyway, Need for Speed Heat. It looks like it's centered in Miami. There's like a very Latina woman in the trailer doing the voiceover, and they're racing through the streets. Looks like same old Need for Speed. There is something different about this one that I would check it out. I don't know, they just fell off, like with the Wanted and the police one, the Hot Pursuit. There's so many. I don't know, it's kind of intimidating to know where to jump in. There's no sequence to them, but I don't know, they get to be intimidating. If it doesn't have a split screen co-op, like, that's a major selling point, because racing games by yourself, I feel like you're kind of dumb. Like, what, you're gonna race and you win? No, I need someone there to yell at, and, you know, like, fuck you, you know what I mean? And if that person is Bubbles and I can whoop his ass, it's better, you know what I'm saying? So I'll be on the lookout to see if it's multiplayer. Obviously it's multiplayer online, but I don't know, I just need my racing games to have couch co-op. The last Burnout Paradise did not have couch co-op, and I did pick it up, but I didn't stick to it because it's kind of whack. Like, yeah, it's fun, you destroy stuff, but racing games, I need people. Same with fighting games. I wouldn't buy Soul Calibur or a Mortal Kombat just for myself. You know, I buy that to play with somebody. I can't play Smash by myself. I can't. And it's the same thing that goes for racing games. So we'll see. I remember an E3 trailer, I think it was for Most Wanted or something like that, where they were chasing. It looked really cool, and there was stuff that you were doing outside the car, like sneaking around. That looked really good, but not enough for me to pick it up. I didn't Google how many Need for Speeds there are, but I'm sure there's a lot. So yeah, I'll keep an eye on that. And that's it for the trailers, bro. Fuck, I need to drink some water, but I can't stop. Damn, I'm only 27 minutes in, yo. I guess that's a good time to come in with the review of this week. So, like I said on the top of the show, I'm doing something a little different. Instead of a movie, I'm reviewing a game. It's been out for a minute. It's actually been out for a year. It was nominated Game of the Year last year. It's been on my radar, and I finally had a chance to play it. And I'm talking about Celeste. Celeste is a 2D side-scroller platformer, I guess. It doesn't really have Metrovania. It has more of a Super Meat Boy kind of gameplay, where you just have to get to the other side of the screen. There be it going up or going down. But your mission is to climb the Celeste mountain. Now, I thought that the name of the game was for the girl, because the protagonist is this young girl, but her name is Madeline. I thought her name was going to be Celeste. I was very wrong. Celeste is the mountain that you climb. And so the story is Madeline wants to climb this mountain. She doesn't know why. She just feels like it's something that she needs to fulfill. And during the climb, she finds a mirror. And through the mirror, it's like she sees a part of herself. That's the name of this other character, which is like a darker Madeline that pops out, who's very negative and just does not necessarily impedes her from keep going, but tries to derail her confidence and derail her mission and derail her focus from it by bringing up negative things and thoughts and saying stuff like you can't do it, that you're not worth it, all this other stuff. And you meet an old lady who you talk to, and you meet a young man who his passion is to upload stuff to Instagram, basically. And you also help this guy who runs a hotel. And I don't want to spoil, but stuff happens. But this part of her, that's just the name of the character, the dark side of Madeline, just keeps popping up. And it doesn't let her try to fulfill her mission, if you will, with negative things, and it says it's a part of her, and that's the way she thinks about herself, and it's basically talking about depression, really, because it's herself saying those things to her, if I'm making any sense. And there's a part in the game where she bursts through, and the part of her meets her up in the sky, and she's like, I got it, we need to not be together so I can proceed. And the part of her is like, no bitch, that's not what we're doing here, and sends her back down the mountain, where she literally hits rock bottom, and you have to climb up again. And it's not until you accept the part of you the evil part, the depression part, the negative part, the part of you that doesn't let you proceed, the part of you that tells you not today, the part of you that it's just negative thoughts, the other side, the what ifs, that. It's not until you accept that you can move on. And that's what happens in the game. You start to work together, and you get different powers, and not powers. The controls are very simple. It's just jump and like a dash. And then later on, there's bubbles and diamonds that you get that regenerate your dash. You can only dash once. You can only hold on to the mountain for so long before you start slipping. So it's very Super Meat Boyish, where you like have to figure out how to jump from one end to the other, and then how to get to the diamond so you can jump again. It's very, very, very fun. The gameplay is brilliant, honestly. Like it does a good job, but the story, the way they implement this depression and self-doubt into it, you're just like, holy shit. I wasn't expecting that from this little game. I was expecting something because it's been a year since it came out and everybody was on this game's nuts. So I was expecting something amazing. The graphics are 8-bit, but you can still see like portrayed emotion through those graphics. And then speech boxes come up on the top, and then the character is way more illustrated and very cartoony and very cute. But yeah, I enjoyed this game a lot. But yeah, the story that you need to embrace that part of you to be able to move on. You can't just set it aside and not deal with your problems head on. That really kind of, I don't want to say stuck to me, but I was like, whoa, that was very powerful. We've all dealt with some kind of form of depression, and I'm not any doctor or I'm not an expert. We've all had tough times where it's tough to just roll out of bed. Sometimes I get it. I've been on my lows. Everyone has, and everybody's lows are different. You can't just say you haven't been at my lows, so you don't know how it feels. Well, everybody's lows is different, and but the feeling might be the same, if I'm making any sense. I didn't think I was gonna get this deep in this motherfucking podcast, trying to talk about farts and shit, but that's what this game led me to. Yeah, and what the game teaches you just have to embrace that to be able to get out of it. And harping it back to the first story, this is why we need games. It helps with stuff like this. And storytelling is just a small part of a way to help, I'm sure this game probably saved lives. I'm being overly dramatic, maybe, I don't know. But by using it as a scapegoat and blaming it on other stuff that just because you don't like it or you don't understand them, it's not all just ragers and kids breaking controllers, and you know what I mean? And it goes back to parenting too. You can't just say, oh, Call of Duty's bad for kids. Well, yeah, because it's not really meant for kids. the ESRB, who implements the rating system, is there for a reason. You know what I mean? If it's M for mature, you probably shouldn't be playing it if you're not 17. Or if you know that your kid is smart and is not a dumb fuck, yes, you can play. But games are art, so you just... Same with movies. So you want to censor art because you think it's... I don't want to get political. I don't want to get into it. But we can't... It's... Anyway. I'm not eloquent enough to fucking explain how fucking stupid blaming all these shootings and all these bad stuff in video games. But video games are art. I really do believe that. And Celeste is a great piece of artwork. And like art, it's up for interpretation if you like it, if you don't like it, if you take it this way, if you take it that way, if it makes you convey an emotion. That's what art is. It's there to spark conversation. Same with movies. Like, you might not like every movie. Bubbles comes on here and he don't like every trailer. Well, it's not meant for everybody. Same with I feel like that's why there's so many shows out, because someone's gonna like it. You know what I mean? We can't watch everything, but there's enough stuff for you to watch something, because there's something out there for everybody. But yeah, I didn't think I was gonna get this deep, yo. I was trying to talk about farts and old people and all that shit, and no, I couldn't. Anyway, if you were thinking about it, Celeste is a great game. I'm blanking. Yeah, I played it on my brother's up here with grandma, and he's got an Xbox, and he paid for the Game Pass, and I was checking out the Game Pass, and the Game Pass be looking pretty nifty. Like there's a few games on there that for only $10 a month, even if you pay $10, even if you get it for 1 month and you're trying to grind, there's a bunch of stuff you can play. Like both Shadows of Mordor on there, Celeste is on there, Ori is on there, Quantum Break is on there, Recore is on there, and these are just games that I personally want to play. So I can see there's definitely value in the Game Pass. If you don't know what to play or what, I would definitely pick it up. But yeah, Celeste, it's gonna be a short pod. I'm by myself. This is really tough. I talk about depression, I talk about Eddie Murphy, I talk about what else you want, man. If you want to talk about other stuff, you can leave a comment on the YouTube video that I try to post every Monday, or you can go to my Instagram at Editor Parazas, Paurazas. You can find me there. Send me a DM. Let me know what y'all think, what y'all want. Kind of doing this for fun, but at the same time, it would be really cool if I can hone my craft and turn this into something really cool. Yeah. You want to follow my homie, my co-host, Felix Jaffel91 on the Instagram. And if you want to follow the Babostis with the Mimostis, it's AlexMac_21, some bullshit like that. But yeah, you can find us as Geeks, Flicks, and Joysticks also on the Instagram. You can find us on Stitcher, iVox, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and like I said, YouTube. If y'all listen to iVox, it would be really great if y'all head over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. I put mostly highlights during the same podcast, but I'm gonna try to start putting extra content on there. Like, for example, The Punishment. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, The Punishment has finally happened. We watched Stitches, aka Splinters, and I might put our review on that on YouTube whenever we get together again and do this. So yeah, be sure to go and check that out. Let me know how we're doing. What can we improve? This is my first solo. Did I do a terrible job? Are you never coming back? I apologize. Please don't come back, baby. I love you. Yeah. Thanks for listening. And don't forget, always, man, always, 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 you do you.